Iowa, Kansas, Gonzaga, Alabama, Duke, University of San Diego. Attention. Go.
In lane one, we have the University of Iowa from Iowa City. I'm trying. Lane 2, we have Kansas State University from Manhattan, Kansas. Lane 3, we have Gonzaga University from Spokane, Washington. This is the start of Event 50, the Women's Collegiate. In lane 4, we have the University of Alabama, Tuscaloosa, Duke University in lane 5, and the University of San Diego in lane 6. We've had a clean start. Right now in the lead is lane 3, Gonzaga University. Coming up, battling for second place is University of Iowa. And in third, it looks like Duke University at this time. It's fairly close between the University of Alabama in lane 4 and the University of San Diego in lane 6. Lane 2 is pushing up into third place. Lane 5 is now in fourth place. Still in first place, we have Gonzaga University. And in second, it looks like University of Iowa, with Kansas State challenging. And Duke University running neck and neck with Kansas State. Right now, all the boats have overlap. Nobody has more than 4 seats on anybody else. Holding their lead is Gonzaga, and then still in second place is University of Iowa. Duke is not letting them get away with a single inch. They're fighting for every inch of it as we cross the 500-meter line.
Gonzaga got right out on the start, and close behind them was Iowa. So we'll see if they're able to shake things out there. Duke and Kansas State apparently have decided to stay right with each other. And the only crews that are off the pace just a little bit would be Alabama and the University of San Diego. Women's Collegiate, third final.
This is the second varsities. It's the third final, positions 13 through 18. Gonzaga would feel probably that they have a point to prove in this race. If you remember their heat earlier today, they were challenging for a position in the petite final, and there was a bit of an upset in the stern of the boat, and that just stopped their momentum as they were making a move in the last 250 meters. So I'm sure they'll feel that they need to prove something in this race, which probably accounts for the fact that they've gone out with some determination and vigor.
Always something to prove, and they are out there certainly working on that at this time. Gonzaga on the lead. Then along the shoreline would be Iowa. Moving up on them is Kansas State. Duke on the far outside. Oklahoma has kind of gotten back into it. And then on the far outside is the University of San Diego. Not much separation between any of these crews. They're all competitive in this particular race.
Yeah, it seems to be Gonzaga and Iowa who have taken the advantage at this point. Gonzaga, of course, leapt out to a lead. They're in lane 3. It's Iowa who are trying to keep them in touch. And as they go past the Ingram Street Gap, it would seem as though Iowa have crept up to Gonzaga and may actually have taken the lead.
Iowa on the shoreline. They are in lane number 1. Lane number 3 is Gonzaga.
Iowa putting in a very strong third 500 here.
University of San Diego has crept up on the outside. I don't think they need to be counted out at any particular time. Duke hanging in there. Alabama also in the hunt. But Iowa had a good 500 meters there.
So I'd say it's Iowa, Gonzaga, and then you could probably throw a blanket over Kansas State and Alabama. And then there's a little bit back to Duke and the University of San Diego on the outside, but not much.
Gonzaga got off to the early lead and held it at least through 750 meters of this race. But at that time, Iowa decided that they wanted to make a point and ratcheted it up along the shoreline, and they currently have a slight edge over Gonzaga. The two of those beginning to lengthen out a little bit and getting some water between themselves and the trailing four crews, but those four crews are pretty much neck and neck all the way across the line. They would be Kansas State, Alabama, Duke, and the University of San Diego.
Iowa have not relinquished any of that pressure that they applied in the third 500. They've kept it on in the last 500. Gonzaga are trying to make an impression, but at this stage it's not happening. But whatever they're doing, it's well and truly enough to keep them away from Kansas State and Alabama, who are tracking them.
Kansas State falling back just a bit as Alabama has picked it up. All the way on the outside, the University of San Diego has eclipsed the Duke crew. But along the shoreline, it looks like we may have an exciting finish. This is Iowa on the shoreline. They are in the gold, blue and white. Gonzaga with a white shell, both crews in white. As they are nearing the finish line, it looks like Iowa is hanging on by about 3 seats. It is Iowa on the shoreline, and Gonzaga. Iowa looks like they may pick up the victory as they have gotten past Gonzaga by about 5 seats. It will be Iowa, Gonzaga, then some open water back to Alabama, although they are being challenged here on the short side by Kansas State, and very tight between Kansas State outside to Duke, and the trailer will be University of San Diego.
Well, none of those crews gave up one bit. Everyone raced to the full limit of their possibilities. It was a very well raced event.
Well, Iowa came right through and they picked it up. Gonzaga had the early lead and Iowa kept chipping away at it, and that's how it came up. Iowa, Gonzaga, Alabama snuck in there for third, Kansas State, Duke, and the University of San Diego.
Those were junior varsity boats, second varsity boats for positions 13 through 18.